Hello all. For today's lab, we'll start with experiment number 5, which is image transform using discrete cosine transform. So image transformation is when you transform an image from one domain to another domain, then it is called image transformation. So transformation is the word which is used to represent any kind of processing that involves changing a given data. For example, you would have studied signals and systems, right? In that, you would have studied about Fourier transform, Laplace transform, Z transform, and so many transforms are there. So any transform is used to convert the given data to a different domain so that we can get the better understanding of the data. So the data can be a signal or it can be an image. So for image, we generally go for discrete cosine transform. So to begin with, what is time domain and frequency domain? So if you look at the frequency domain, if you look at this picture here, you can see that in time domain, the left side you have the signal with respect to amplitude versus time. So you have the signal's amplitude and you are looking at the signal with respect to time. So you know at what time you are having what amplitude. So in frequency domain, you will be looking at the signal with respect to the frequency. So the time domain signal will be divided into multiple components. So any transform will divide the signal into sum of sinusoidal frequency. That's what we have learned, right? So once you look at the different sinusoidal components, you look at the frequency of each signal. You can see the green wave. So the green wave has one frequency and the purple wave has another frequency. So in frequency domain, you will have two peaks. Each peak will represent the frequency of the signal. So frequency domains can be obtained through the transformation from one domain to the another domain via Fourier transform, which is used for signals, that is audio signals. You can have MPEG audios. And discrete cosine transform, it is used for image and videos, and it can be also applied for audio. So this is what the analogy between Fourier transform and discrete cosine transform. So both transforms convert the given data from time domain to frequency domain. So we are looking at the given data in terms of frequency, not in terms of time. Okay, so that is the first point. Next, the definition of discrete cosine transform. So what does it mean? It is used to represent the image as a sum of sinusoids of varying magnitudes and frequencies. So you will be looking at the signal, that is the image, as a sum of sinusoids with the magnitude and a frequency. So in MATLAB, DC2 function is used to compute the two-dimensional discrete cosine transform of an image, and it helps to separate the image into parts or spectral subbands of differing importance. So depending on the image visual quality, we will represent the image into different spectral bands. Spectrum is a collection of frequency. So we will represent based on the resolution, different spectral components will be represented using discrete cosine transform. So this discrete cosine transform formula and all you will be studying in your theory classes. So I am just giving you an overview of the discrete cosine transform. Okay, so discrete cosine transform is generally used in image compression application, and it is mainly used for lossy image compression algorithm, that is JPEG. We use JPEG images, right? .jpg format. All the JPEG images, there will be a lossy compression, like some data will be lost during compression of the image, but then you will have the visual information preserved using JPEG. So that is lossy image compression algorithm. And the basic operation of a discrete cosine transform. So if you look at the picture, you have the image, you apply the discrete cosine transform and you get another transformed image. So input image is n cross m matrix, that is the first line. Second line is f of I comma j is the intensity of the pixel in row small I and column small j. And then for capital F of u comma v is the discrete coefficient for row k1 and column k2 of the DCT matrix. So that is the transformed image. So what happens is, for most of the images, signal energy lies at the low frequencies. So this matrix, DCT matrix is there, no? It is used to represent the frequency components of the image, right? So in an image, the low frequency components will have most of the energy of the image. So the pixel values will be, which are having high energy, will be concentrated on the upper left corner of the matrix. So compression is achieved since the lower values represent higher frequencies and often small enough to be neglected with little visible distortion. So the lower right values represent high frequency and the upper left represents the lower frequency. So this you should be very clear. And then the DCT is an input array of 8 cross 8 integers. So each array will have a pixel intensity value. This is how we represent the DCT matrix. So it's a 8 cross 8 matrix. So it is a 64 basis function. You can look at the frequencies changing along the horizontal side. It changes from left to right. So from left to right, the horizontal frequencies are increasing, and if you look at the vertical frequency, they increase from top to bottom. So frequency is just nothing but the number of lines. Here you are looking at the number of lines. So if you look at the horizontal frequency, horizontally the number of lines are increasing from left to right, and vertically the number of lines are increasing from top to bottom. That is what we mean by frequency of the image. Okay. And then the constant valued basis function at the upper left, the top left first pixel is there, no, first box, that is called as the DC basis function. It is always constant valued. You can look at the gray image, it's like a full gray, it doesn't have any lines over there. So that is the DC basis function, and the corresponding coefficient of the DCT is called a DC coefficient. Okay. So that's all about discrete cosine transform. So now we will move on to the programming of DCT. I'll just explain the code. So I'll explain the code now. You can see the first line, it's like a default. You have clear screen, close all and clear all. So CLC is for clearing the command window, close all is for closing the figures, and clear all is for clearing your variables. So I have attached the brain MRI image here. You can just upload it in Octave Online and you can run this code. So here you are reading the image using the variable a equal to imread, and then you are displaying it in a figure window, and then you are converting RGB to gray using the variable b and displaying it as grayscale image. And now we are performing the discrete cosine transform. So you are converting your grayscale image to double format, dividing it by 255, which means each pixel will be divided by 255. Then we are using the inbuilt function DCT2 of C. So D equal to DCT2 of C. So now we are performing the discrete cosine transform, that is two-dimensional discrete cosine transform. And now we are calculating the power. So image power equal to D dot power 2, and then we are taking the image power for all the pixel values, and now we are sorting the values b comma index equal to sort of image power. So we are sorting the power with respect to the minimum power to the maximum power, and then we are using the flip UD command. So in MATLAB, flip UD is used to flip the values in the up down direction. So that is about the horizontal axis. So it is used to sort your array values, and then we are finding the compressed, we are creating an array called compressed DCT, which is equal to the size of C. So zeros of size of C is, you are creating an empty array with value 0, and the size should be equal to C. C is, which is nothing but the variable which we started at the beginning of the DCT code. Now the coefficient value we are taking it as 1000. We can change the coefficient value. So here we are just giving the 1000 as the beginning value. Now we are creating a loop for k equal to 1 to coefficient value. We are compressing the image. So for each coefficient value we are trying to compress the image, and then we are finally getting the DCT image. So image DCT is equal to IDCT2 is the inverse two-dimensional discrete cosine transform. So basically this program, first you take the image and then you convert it into grayscale, and then you perform the discrete cosine transform, you will get the DCT matrix. From the DCT matrix, you are sorting the maximum power value, and based on that you are creating a loop where you try to find the compressed DCT values from the image index, and then based on the compressed DCT value you are getting the image. That's basically like a reconstruction. You are getting the inverse discrete cosine transform, and then you are obtaining the DCT cosine transformed image, and then you are displaying it here. So this is what your experiment 5. So we have other transforms also, but we are just performing discrete cosine transform for this experiment. So other experiments also you can try using the inbuilt MATLAB commands. So with this I will stop experiment 5.